Welcome back to the Dex and Randi Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. You're coming up next. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Dex and Randi Show. I'm happy to have you guys here back with us for another episode of our podcast. And as always, I got my beautiful, gorgeous, almost perfect. I might just say she's perfect. You know what I mean? My partner, my friend, my ride or die, my everything. Met her way back in school. My co-host. What's up,
Hey.
man?
Hi, everyone. My name is Randy, and I'm the co-host of the Dex and Randi Show.
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's been an interesting week.
Yeah, how
You
you
know what I
feeling?
mean?
You been
I'm been struggling. I'm been sick. You know what I mean? So I'm been just Monday I was out of work. Tuesday I was out of work. You know what I mean? You guys know what it's like when you're going, and then all of a sudden that sickness comes, that flu comes, cold, whatever the case may be, that just makes you take a seat. You know what I'm saying? So what happened with me is Saturday and Sunday last week, I had a game, had a soccer game, and I felt myself, not feeling 100%, but I really wanted to push through the game. And so I went to the games and we had some good games and great experiences and all that. But then Sunday night, I weren't feeling good. And then Monday morning, I couldn't go. So I was out of work Monday, Tuesday, and all week I'm just been slowly, I think, on demand. But you probably heard in my voice, I
Yeah.
ain't been feeling too well, and just been trying to push through that. It's been tough.
Mm-hmm.
Why you laughing?
No,
Whatever.
because it's like when men go down, like y'all go down.
I went way down. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Like you would
Way
think
down.
it's like the worst thing in the world.
Cause it is, you know what I'm saying? But before we get more into that, we gotta always kick off with the
Oh,
sponsorship for our
yes.
podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, yes. The sponsor for our podcast and all podcasts is Based in Accounting LLC, BASDEN Accounting LLC. The number one firm for advisory, accounting, and taxes. So it's getting towards the end of the year. We have about 2 months left in 2024. So now is the time. Actually, it's been the time, but you have a little bit of time now to get your advisory, accounting, and taxes in order to prepare for the 2024 close, and also to start 2025 all fresh. Stop playing around. Let's do it the right way. Stop keeping your receipts in baskets and, in your wallet in different places. By the time tax season comes, you don't know where your stuff is. You got different accounts, commingling funds. Let's become professional in 2025, please. Or let's close out 2024 on a professional level. Basin Accounting LLC, please reach out to them. www.basinaccounting.com.
Hey, you're so funny, Randy. You're so funny. But no, seriously, hit up Base and Accounting for everything that you need. Randy just went through it. But you know what is funny about that? People don't be thinking about how to do things all year long, but then they come, the next year and want to get this big refund. They want to do all this finagling, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't thought about anything since the last tax year. They just say, okay, let me go hit my tax person up and try to get some money, and it's like such a disconnect. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But anyway, back to what you said. When men go down, you know what I mean. We go down hard, but I'm glad I don't have to imagine what it's like to be alone when that happens. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't been 100% all week. You know what I mean? Coughing, tired. I mean, Monday and Tuesday I was so tired. You know what I mean? I usually will not call out of work, but I had to. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I
Mm-hmm.
had to. It weren't even a decision to make. But I'm had you. You know what I mean? I'm had my friend, my woman, making my tea every night. You know what I mean? Going grabbing my water, being even a little more physically affectionate, rubbing my head. You know what I mean? Just the things that I usually do for you, you was doing for me. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to let me know that you was there for me. You know what I mean? You love me. Everything was you was very confident this week. So it was nice to not be my best self, but be able to like fall into a strong black woman.
Well, well, thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
that. And you did
Yes.
pretty good though. Even with you being tired and sick, you still helped out. So
All
I
right, I
appreciate
appreciate it.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But you a real one, you know what I mean? So thank
You're
you. You
welcome.
know what I'm saying? Talking about this week though, you know what I mean? Like I said, everybody's been there where these things come, health, unexpected, you know. One thing about getting sick, whatever it is, it reminds you of like, hold up, what's really important is like taking care of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure I'm eating well, making sure I'm getting enough sleep. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that I'm making good decisions every day for my health, because you don't be thinking about that until you go down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you don't
Mhm.
think about like really taking care of yourself until you have to take care of yourself. You just be going, 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 running your battery all the way down, but you gotta recharge it. You know what I'm saying? And yesterday I went to urgent care. It had me thinking a lot because I had a terrible experience at urgent care. And yesterday I went to urgent care. I took a middle son. His 7. You know what I mean? He's amazing, but he had to go through this terrible experience with me, where we're in urgent care for like 2 hours waiting for daddy to get seen. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, I get there, sitting down for 30 minutes. They finally checked me in, swabbed me for COVID, swabbed me for strep throat and all that. Then they sit me down for another 10 minutes. Then they take me to the back, and I'm sitting in a room waiting for the doctor for like 90 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching my
That's
son.
crazy.
My hey, look, my son is sleeping on the chair.
Phone dead.
Phone's dead the whole time. So I already know. I'm like, Randy can't even contact me. You know what I'm saying? He's sleeping. He ends up waking up crying because his leg fell asleep. So I'm sitting here like massaging his leg. Like it was a whole situation, like just to get through to see the doctor. And then, as usual, which I hate to say, the doctor comes in finally after like 90 minutes and sees me for like 2 minutes and writes me up some medicine. Because that's what they do. They try to they give medicine first. You know what I'm saying? So he writes me up the prescription, some medicine, and tries to explain what he thinks going on with like viral infection, bronchitis, or whatever. And something about my swollen centralized lymph nodes, which I'm sitting there thinking lymph nodes. I went real crazy with that because I ain't know lymph nodes to me one thing. You know what I'm saying? But Randy educated me. But anyway, I'm sitting there leaving. When I left urgent car, I was so stressed out. Like I felt worse than when I've been in there. You know what I mean? I went in there looking to feel relief, and I felt worse leaving. You know what I'm saying? But it had me thinking, like, after I calmed down, you know what I mean? After I came in, you told me, like, lymph nodes don't just mean cancer, it means your lymphatic system and how it filters, you know, not want to say disease, but like it's your filtering system in your body to help you fight off things.
Mhm.
So if I have enlarged lymph nodes in my chest area right now, or whatever, I'm been coughing. You know what I'm saying? It's fighting that off. But I sat there and I was like, what about people that don't even have access to healthcare like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would it be like if that experience that I had in urgent care was how it is all the time, where like it takes hours to see somebody, or you can see somebody. When we talk about moving, or like buying a new house and stuff like that, or going to different areas to live, you always been saying stuff about like healthcare and how good the healthcare is in our area. And that's like a little hesitation to move into other areas because it's like unknown. You know what I'm saying? And that I ain't never really been thinking like that. And then every time you say that, it ain't never really resonated with me until
Mhm.
yesterday. And I was like, well, I really do need to think about that because, we're getting older, and moving somewhere and buying a house ain't just about if it's blue water nearby, and if it's like nice shop places to shop nearby, and if you got a nice view or pool or a big yard and all this type of stuff I always be looking for. you start thinking a little different. Like, hold up, what's the healthcare system like? Would I be able to see a doctor easily? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Would I be able to get to help medically easily if I need it? You know what I'm saying? It has me start thinking like that. And I'm like, that's something I really need to like bake in into like my decision making. It's like I'm a daddy, I'm a father, you know what I'm saying? I'm a husband. I got 4 kids, you know. Can I access help for them medically? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or would I want to be somewhere where the one doctor office or the hospital that everybody goes to is 30 miles away and it's like one in the area? I ain't
Right.
never really like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thought like that. But that would not be okay. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to live somewhere, and people who are out there probably could relate because they live in an area like that where it's like, dang, if I get sick, I gotta go down into the town and wait 4 hours at the one hospital we got in our county or in our, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I saw a documentary on that before.
What do you mean? What's the
I
you
couldn't
don't
even
remember the name?
tell.
What was
You
it
know, I
about?
love a good documentary,
I know.
so
What was it about? Cause
but
I ain't
no,
seen it.
it was about a woman who worked at a hospital
Mm-hmm.
and there was only like two doctors on a staff or something like that in the middle of nowhere. And then she talked about like some nights it's like completely like nobody's there,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll be like pneumonia season, or you know, a lot of people will get sick at one time because there's a virus going around, and she has to, you know, work these long hours to try to take care of everybody, to try to see everybody.
Crazy. That's what it
Mhm.
felt like at urgent care. That's what it felt like at urgent because I kept asking any nurse or assistant or whatever they called. I was like, how many more is in front of me? And they was like, he should be coming soon. 5, 4, like 2. And I'm like, you keep saying he. You keep saying he. Is it any like one doctor that's doing the
Yeah.
rounds or whatever? You know what I'm saying? That's
Well, we're going to
crazy.
try a different one. I did like the one that we were going to, that's shut down now, because
Hmm.
there was never a wait for that
Hmm.
one. But yeah, we're going to go to a different one.
For real. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a week of a reset, a reawareness, you know what I'm saying, into the importance of health, maintaining your health, taking care of yourself, and also planning and making sure you got the right uh medical plans to be able to take care of things for yourself. Like this week we went through open enrollment where, you know, every year if you got a job or whatever the case may be, hopefully, you know, these are instances where you're not paying for your own medical insurance and stuff like that. Your company pays for it, whoever you work for. So we went through the process of benefits enrollment, right? And looking through for me, you, and the kids or whatever, do we need to change benefits this year? What medical insurance are we picking? Vision insurance are we picking? Are we putting money in dependent care this year? Are we getting a, you know, health savings account this year? And like going through that whole process, that's important. I'm glad we did it. You know what I'm saying? I think you was telling me how it reminded you of like all of the benefits that we actually do have out there. You know what I'm saying? Like life insurance through my job and stuff like that. You know, but this last year has been a good indicator to me of how important it is to have benefits. You know what I'm saying? I'm been in physical therapy. I'm on other episodes. I'm talked about my back. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta plan for these things. Like when you're younger, you don't really think. You just get up and go, and you don't think that anything in your body might break down or not work as good as it was, or whatever the case may be. But that's when insurance and stuff comes into play, and you have to really think about those things and make sure that you're properly insured. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you can go to the doctor. You got to make sure that you could go check physical therapy, or if you need medication that is not going to be hundreds of dollars every single time you get a prescription from your doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that stuff is real, real important. So we went through enrollment this week. I'm glad we got that done. You know,
Early this
I'm glad
time.
early. Yeah, usually what I think the last couple years we did it like on the day is due or like maybe the day before. So we ain't really going through the plans. We were a little bit more detailed this year. We probably could have spent even more time on it, but the last couple years were kind of like defaulted to what was already there because we didn't give each other enough time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And before, when I was in corporate America, I used to carry like the health insurance and the dependent care
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So HSAs, like I used to take care of it without you. But now
Mm-hmm.
we are changing that.
We're on the same page. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Yeah, but outside of the health stuff, so take away from that, and if you're first time listening to our podcast, we go through the ups and downs of life. We're the number one show for doing that. I love our show because we just be real about the good and the bad in life. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna hear on this podcast nothing but highlights and just money making and all these great things that we do, which we do. But you're gonna hear about the tough times and the things that we learn from each other and from other people. So that's why we love our show because we just real about everything, good and bad. Now, a good thing this past week, which we gotta talk about, is we had a little staycation last
Yes, we
weekend. You know what I'm
did.
saying? And if you guys listen, man, one thing that we are a big proponent of is taking time and taking little moments and making them bigger. You probably heard this on a lot of episodes, but every time you take a vacation, it don't mean that that's that week in Miami that you plan for and you took the whole week off and now you're out there with your friends or your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, and you're on vacation. Do that. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. But vacation could also be staycation. That could also be a night on the town where you don't just come home right away. You got a hotel. You know what I'm saying? That could be taking your kids somewhere just for the weekend. You know what I mean? Something that's cost effective so you can do it more often, create more memories. You know what I'm saying? Um, we went to see the facility. All right. I don't know what episode number it was that we
45.
episode 45. Make sure you go check out episode 45. All right. Believe it's Unfiltered Conversations
Conversations with
with
Devin
Devin Turner.
Turner.
Look at that. In my head. I'm glad I remembered it. Make sure you check that out. That's a great episode. I won't repeat anything there. Make sure you go check out episode 45. But we went to see the movie premiere of the facility. And I was excited to go, but I was even more excited that I went after it happened because it was such an amazing weekend. You know what I'm saying? And just leading up to it, me and Randy, I got some new clothes, yo. You know what I mean? Everything was right. So first off, I got some new clothes, and then when we went and got the clothes, they were discounted. They were on sale. So Randy was happy. He was able to
I
save
love a
some
good
money.
sale.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But anyway, we got all dressed up and everything, feeling good about ourselves, and we went up to VA. You know what I mean? To check out the facility, right?
Mhm.
And for you, what was it like? You know what I mean, on the way up to the show, and going through the red carpet and everything. I want to hear from your
Well, I first of
perspective.
all, we checked into the hotel first.
The Weston,
Yeah, we stayed at the Westin in Old
yes,
Town Alexandria, which was about maybe 5 minutes from the movie premiere.
real close.
Yeah, but I was
Yeah,
a little stressed because I noticed there were some things that I left at home, and I'm like, "Dang, going it." So, we worked through that though. Took a Uber to the facility, and it was nice. I never been on an experience of being on the red carpet, but it was cool. Took some pictures and yeah, went in, watched the movie, and the movie was amazing. It was really good. It
hmm
had really good acting in it. It made some really good points, and it definitely it wasn't predictable.
it wasn't.
That's the thing that
That
because
was
me, I'd be like, I know what's getting ready to
you
happen,
always you always say that,
and I'd be
yeah,
right.
and you be right. They say the line right after you said they was gonna say it, and I'll be like, man, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but that wasn't the experience that I
Not at
had this
all.
time. So it was really good. And Devin Turner is a good friend of ours.
hmm
And it's just good to see how transparent he was about his reason for making the movie and the budget that he had for the movie and because he didn't have to disclose that stuff.
He didn't.
And yeah, it was a really good experience. It was a nice date night for me and you. You talked about staycations and we were maybe 45 minutes from home, and just being with you and experiencing it is just always beautiful.
And Randy was looking amazing. You
Oh,
know what I
thank you.
mean?
You look good too.
Randy was looking amazing. Yeah, I had the frames on my shirt. You know what I mean? I had to dust off this blazer. When I say dust off, yo, like literally, done. I had to dust this. I went in the closet and I was like, hold up, let me see. I was like, hold, I didn't even know I had that jacket. And I put it on, and then you know how like you don't expect things to come together. I don't know. That don't just happen to women, but man. But I put the shirt on, I found the blazer, the pants that I put on. I mean, I'm had damn pants. I'm had these blue
Our
pants.
wardrobes are a work in
Yeah, I'm had
progress.
these blue pants for so long. You know what I'm saying? But when I put it together, and then I had some shoes from a wedding that I had been to last year. But when I put it together, I was like, I think I'm got something.
That's what you
Yeah,
saying
I said I
too.
think I'm got something. You know what I mean? Then I threw the frames on too, and I was like, yes. You know what I mean? One thing, like one thing, and Randy says this all the time, but like you gotta dress with how you want to feel, not how you actually feel. You know what I'm saying? So like those things, them different elements of the outfit coming together is like I felt important that night. You know what I'm saying? I felt like yes. You know what I mean? If I would have just been out with an outfit that I weren't feeling too good about it, that would have took a little bit away from the experience. Like everything kind of has to come together. So like dress the way that you want to feel. So I felt good leaving the house. You know what I mean? On the way up there, the positivity of the experience had already started. I was looking good. You was looking good. You know what I'm saying? The kids already taken care of. Food already ordered for them. Had the babysitter. Like everything was straight. We didn't overpack. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff's important. You know what I mean? We weren't beefing before we left because you're taking all day to get ready, or you know how it go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
what gotten better with things. You know what I'm saying? So we guys go, and for me, when we get there, the hotel amazing. You know what I mean? Little things like this. The Lord be looking out, but like little things like this. Like when we got to the hotel, our room wasn't ready. We ain't making a big deal about it. We didn't sit there and complain or nothing like that. But the first thing the lady was like, "Oh, let me give you a little complimentary meal or whatever because your
Hmm.
room's not ready." Now the experience is going up. You know what I'm saying? The experience is like it was already going up. Now it's going up a little bit more because I'm like, no, I got something free. Complimentary or whatever the case may be. So now I know I got a meal or whatever. So anyway, we use that from complimentary meal the next day. I talk about that. But we go sit at the bar, you know what I mean? Got this we got this like French onion soup that had like oxtail meat in it. It was good. The idea was good. The meat was not tender enough, so that took away from it. But your drink was good. My drink was good. You know what I mean? The hotel was beautiful. We go upstairs. We get ready. The hotel room, real nice. You know what I mean? Just adding to the element of it being
Yeah.
special.
And
You
I
know?
paid extra for the suite.
Oh yes, you did.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hold on.
So,
No, go
oh,
ahead.
go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, you go
No, you go.
ahead. Excuse me. I told y'all we can leave that in there too. It's all good. But Randy years ago wouldn't have did it, but she does these things now where she'll pay that little extra. So if something is 300 for the night, but 350 is a better room, she'll pay it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I used to
saying?
not be like that. I'd be like,
No,
give me the cheapest one with the king bed.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some of you guys go out and you might think like, okay, well, I'm gonna be out on the town anyway. I just get the cheapest room, and okay, like that's cool. You know what I mean? But treat yourself well. You know what I mean? Like pay that little extra couple dollars for the experience. Life's all about experiences. You start to realize that. So you might want to go out and have more money to buy alcohol or go hang out with your friends, but like, what about you? You know what I mean? A lot of times we spend our money trying to, I don't want to say impress, but like make things better for all these people around us, or us hanging around a whole bunch of people. But like make it nice for yourself. Get the nice hotel room. Get yourself a massage. Like go to the hotel restaurant and pay a little more for the breakfast there. You don't go to some nice area, some nice hotel just to go walk down the street and get Dunkin' Donuts. You could do that every day. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
like I love how we do things because when we go somewhere new, the idea is I want something new. I want a new experience. You know what I mean? I don't need what I already know when I'm going somewhere that I ain't never been. What's the point of that? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So anyway, we get ready to go to the show. We go to the show. I've never been to a red carpet event. You know what I mean? When we walked in, they put the little bands on us and told us that we was platinum. Experience still going up. Because I'm in the platinum group. They let us know that we get to go right in, pick our seats first. All these things like,
And it was sold out, so
and
that's
it was
actually
sold out.
important.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like we got to go in the theater first, pick our seats first, get our food first, all that type
You
stuff.
are so detailed. I left all of that out.
That's all right. That's that's all right. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. That's why we partners. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you got to chill on the details. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got you. But so the taking pictures on the red carpet. I'm from Bermuda, and I ain't never experienced nothing like this. You know what I mean? So they're taking pictures with the actors on the red carpet. I didn't even know they were the actors until I saw the movie. But we're taking pictures, and me and you took a nice picture or whatever. And then we took a picture with Devin, and like afterwards, it was a woman there that was doing like commentary throughout, and then she asked us questions, and she was like, "Are you excited to see the movie?" And like, just the whole experience, I'm like, "This is dope." You know what I'm saying? But then we go inside to watch the movie. Let me tell y'all something, man. When something is better than what you expected, it ain't nothing better than that. Because when I watched this movie, I had so much more appreciation for the hard work and how much risk was taken for something that you believe in. When I interviewed Devin on episode 45, I felt his passion, like everything that he's doing with his organization against gun violence. And I like, yes, it was a really great conversation, but I had to see it. You know what I'm saying? And he had the challenge in this movie facility. I give y'all 15 seconds of it, but you gotta go watch it. But the whole thing is literally about this guy comes in from jail and he's supposed to be free, but he has to go live in this facility. All right. And it's so many metaphors in there about, when you come out of the prison system and stuff like that, you're free, but are you really free? You know what I'm saying? Are you really free? You know what I mean? In these communities where there's less income, things like that, more violence and stuff. Why is it like that? You know what I'm saying? Why is it like that the way it is? Like, why is it neighborhoods that are set up certain ways where there's more poverty and there's others that are not? Like, I've always just accepted like that's just the way it is, but it originates from somewhere. You see what I'm saying? And his movie, he had the challenge of finding a way of getting all of these messages out there but making it entertaining, and somehow they did that. You know what I mean? I was laughing at some points. You know what I mean? I was intrigued, didn't know what was going to happen next at some points. You know what I mean? The acting was better than I thought. You know what I'm saying? Better than I thought. And then at the end, your boy the movie ends and everybody's clapping. I won't give you too much about the movie because you got to go check it out at the facility. It's gonna be on streaming too, so y'all check that out. Amazon. Um, but at the end, the movie ends and he's up there talking with everybody about himself and why he did it and why it's so important, and looking for, and people could donate, and things came up on the screen with the QR code to donate, and it's literally on the muscle going to different areas to promote this movie that he made with people that probably ain't never acted in a movie before. You know what I'm saying? And what they did was, I could just tell, you know how much hard work that is,
Mhm.
but we
Mhm.
got to experience that. I was proud to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And it was such a great moment, and I'm glad me and you do so much stuff together, and that's another one we could put on the list, is this premiere and being a part of something that impactful, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I loved it for sure. So make sure y'all check out that movie, The Facility. It's a Benevolent production, and if you don't get a chance to see it in the theaters, it will be on streaming. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you give yourself a little break from your margaritas. Maybe you get two less this week, and go on Amazon and go and watch the movie and sit back and enjoy yourself like we did.
It's
You know
not
what I'm
on
saying?
Amazon yet,
Not
though.
yet. No, I said it will be. I said that. I
Oh,
appreciate the alley though, but it will be. It will
yeah.
be. You know what I'm saying?
December.
December
Yeah.
ish.
Ish.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I'm
it might
saying?
might be November. She said something about Black Friday.
We can stick with
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna say
December-ish.
December.
We
Yeah.
can be
It's close
conservative with
enough.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, so that was a really, really good experience, y'all. So make sure again you take this time when you have these moments to go out there. First of all, support your friends, support your family when they're looking to do things, especially when you know that it's something they truly believe in and they've put the hard work in. Support somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna want somebody to support you with what you're doing. You know what I mean? It don't mean you're gonna love it. You may not be as lucky as me and Randy to have such an amazing experience that we had, but put that love out there. You know what I mean? It's not enough love out there sometimes. But go show that cousin of yours, go show that brother of yours, like, bro, I support what you're doing. I was just jerk off the muscle of showing love and support, and I was rewarded like 20 times over with like a really good movie and a different way to look at things. You know what I mean? So I can't complain at all. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I had good food, and the next day the breakfast was bomb and it was discounted. You know what I'm saying? So that was good. You
Yeah.
know. But anyway, what else? What else this week, man? What else ups and downs of this week?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, what's up?
You was tripping a little bit.
Oh, is that where we're going? All right. What then?
You saw me talking to another man.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Go ahead.
So so okay, so you all know we have a new office space. And I was headed in the office and a man stopped me and he was like, do you have a child that goes to this school? I'm not gonna say school.
Nah, you got
And
it.
I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I recognize your truck from the carpool line because our truck has our logo on it. So he recognized in the parking lot. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we just had a short conversation. He was I asked him which kid was his, and um his daughter's in the same grade as our son. And so I walk into I walk into the building and I'm standing at the elevator and Dex pops out of nowhere. It was like, "How you doing?" or something you said. I don't know. I'm like, "Good." And what else did you say? You said something like, "Who? Oh, who was that?"
Is that how I said it?
Yes. You were
Okay.
like, "Who was that?" I was like, "Oh, that's just y'all." I actually felt like I had did something wrong. Like I felt like I was in trouble. I'm like, "Oh, that was this guy that goes to his kid goes to the same school as Caleb, and he worked on the third floor. Got a
Mm,
financial planning company."
mhm.
So anyway, he brought it up multiple times, repeatedly throughout the week. So what's going on?
All right, so that's how you remember. Now let me tell y'all all that detail Randy just gave you about what they were talking about, and she knows that. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell y'all something, right? I pulled up. You know what I mean? I'm a dude. You know what I'm saying? So body language says it all. So I pulled up. My man was mad happy to be talking to you. I was like, all right, cool, cool, chatty, chatty, this, and that, ha, ha, ha. You know what I'm saying? Key, cool. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something. You ever seen a magician do a trick? Randy and this dude did a trick that I ain't never seen. Hear me? For somebody who didn't see me pull up, as soon as I got out the car, this guy vanished. I swear to God, like it's like he disappeared in thinner. I 1 minute they were there chatting. I pull up, I get out the car, he's gone. Randy's walking inside. I said, okay, okay. You know what I'm saying? So I walked in and I just asked her what was up with that. That's all. You know what I mean? I was curious. You know what I mean? But I weren't mad or nothing like that. Don't try to hype
No,
it like
no,
that.
no.
I'm a very secure guy. You know what I mean? I'm always chilling. You know what I'm saying? But for real though, I did ask her like who that was or whatever. And the thing about Randy, the truth is, before she even really gave me the detail about what they was talking about, the first thing she wanted to know, what, you was jealous? Y'all women be wanting us to trip. Y'all be wanting us to trip. She was sitting there because she thinks sometimes that I don't be caring because I be so nonchalant about, this,
He just
this,
he's
and
too
that.
laid back.
I'm laid back, you know what I mean? We go out somewhere. Some guy wants to dance with her. I'm cool with it. She's wondering why I ain't tripping. So we had experiences in the past. I'll say the details where she thinks that I'm just cool like that, and I am. But she still don't realize I'll smack the hell out of somebody if I had to. Why not? I ain't tripping. Ain't nothing soft. You know what I mean? So she wanted to get that rise out of me. She wanted it. So she was like, "Ooh, you're jealous." You know what I mean? Like, tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. So she wanted that rise out of me, and she got it. You know what I'm saying? So then, the funny thing though, real serious, we go into the office, and you ask me something about like how I'm feeling or how you're feeling, something like that. And I told you, I was like, I know what you like. And I stood up and I imitated it.
Oh yeah, because he was up leaning against the
Yeah, I
car.
was just like, Randy, ain't this what you like? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know what, though? Let me tell y'all something. One thing it did remind me of real quick is that this woman, you know what I'm saying? I met this girl when I was like 21 or going 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about like 18 years ago. You know what I mean? And instantly, when I met her, I knew she was mad cool. We got cool off the break. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward, I've spent over half my entire life connected to her. So at the end of the day, she means everything to me. So it just reminded me, like, let me make sure I stay sharp. You know what I mean? Let me make sure she knows ain't nothing sweet at all. You know what I mean? And make sure I keep my house in business. You know what I mean? Take care of myself. You know what I mean? Stay dressing well, looking well, because there's always sharks in the water. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And my man was a pretty big shark. You know what I'm saying? He was a big boy. You know.
Yeah.
And but nah, it was just a little reminder that I don't take advantage of. I don't take what's the word I'm looking for? I don't take for granted the fact that I have you. You know what I'm saying? You're a commodity. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So I have a question
Yeah,
then,
what's
because we
up?
didn't talk about this, but how did you feel yesterday when dude in the office popped by our office?
I was confused. I was confused. This guy, man, listen.
So y'all, I walk around mostly when we work in the office. I have on a Basden shirt with a logo. So it'd be a collar shirt or a dress shirt or a t-shirt, but I always have a Basden accounting for the most part logo on. So it kind of starts conversations. But carry on.
Nah, but look. Once again, so let me look. I didn't even know you was about to go here,
I'm just
but
curious.
you see how excited she is. You see how excited she is. Hey, look. Let me tell you. Listen to this, women. Y'all women, y'all know that y'all be watching everything. So as soon as your husband comes home and all of a sudden he goes from eating cheesesteaks and pizza to donuts and crap all the time. Now all of a sudden he wants to be in the gym all the time. Now all of a sudden he wants to buy some new boxes and all that. Y'all indicators will be way up, like, what's going on with this dude? Like, who is he trying to impress? Something is going on. That's how y'all women think. So Randy lately, the makeup game has been going up. You know what I mean? She's been putting herself together even more, buying little jewelry. You know what I mean? Matching the eyes. You see her today. You know what I mean? Well, in her port, and she got the eyes matching the pants and everything. Like she's been on this thing of
Which
like
I have been
improving.
transparent about on the
Yeah, yeah,
podcast.
yeah. When that's
Self
that.
care.
Self care, but everything's just started connecting. And I'm like, oh, maybe you know okay. I just started thinking. So anyway, this guy, I'm sitting there working or whatever. Randy walks in. Somehow there's a guy behind her
No, that
again.
is not what happened.
That's how I
We were
remember it.
both we
That's
were
how I remember it.
no, hold on, no. We were both sitting down and somebody knocked at the door.
Whatever.
And I said, come in.
The initiation of him in our office was from you, from what I remember.
Okay.
I didn't invite him in there. I just turned around and he was there. That, like, very similar to the other guy. I pull up and you're engaging and there's a guy there. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He might have knocked, he might have whistled. I don't know. But I just know that my eyes was raised and you was kikiing with a dude at the door. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm just being real with you, you know? So anyway, this guy's sitting there and talking about, yeah, I need some help. I need an accountant. You know what I mean? I got something. The IRS is coming. I'm sitting there like, what the hell is going on? They say, oh, I'm just joking. And I'm like, all right, like, what is up with this guy? Whatever. So anyway, I had to go hop on the call. So Randy, I believe, exchanged business information, right? Is that what happened?
That is what happened.
Right. So we'll see how that go. But yeah, it's been an interesting, situation. But all jokes aside, yo, me and Randy's good. You know what I mean? Randy just had her opportunity to see me trip a little bit. And she be wanting that. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, she's gonna just see me have to smack somebody. And that's one thing that I tell you we do everything together, but that's one thing she's been spurred off so far is seeing that level of crazy out of me, and I think she wants it.
Oh my
And I'm gonna just
god.
let y'all know, just like anything in life, man, you want something real bad, you might just get it. All right, so feel free to get one of these guys smacked up, cause I will smack somebody up. All right.
Okay.
Just remember that. And when
All
that's and
right.
when that smack comes, when it comes, it's got 19 years behind it. 19 years, 3 businesses, money, 4 kids, and a whole lot of up and downs. It's gonna it's gonna be behind that right hand of God. Okay? All right.
You are
What's
so
up?
funny.
It's all facts though. It's all facts though. You know what I'm saying? You know how you are. You know how you are. We ain't gonna go down there, but that's what happens. Listen, when something means a lot to you, you value it, you protect it. You'd be a fool to not put everything into protecting something that's valuable. That's what you do in life. You know what I mean? If you got gold bars, if you got millions of dollars, you don't leave it in a trash bag in front of your house. You don't leave those millions sitting in a container in the living room and you got company. It's too valuable. You secure it, you take care of it. You got $100,000 watch, you buy a safe. You don't give everybody the code to the safe. There's things that you do when something is valuable. And I just think you got a preview into the fact and a reminder. And I got the reminder too that what me and you have together is of high value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it ain't nothing wrong with that. But anyway, business this week. For y'all that don't know, as Randy mentioned, Bass and Accountant LLC, sponsor for all of our Dex and Randi Show podcasts. We had a good week this week, even though I was sick. You know what I'm saying? This week we had some really good meetings with our advisory clients, which again I love. We had a conversation yesterday that lasted about 2 hours, and but it was really good to see the relationship that we have, and the conversation without going into too much detail. Which, if you're a business owner, uh, this is probably the conversation that we like to have the least, which is involving money and contracts and stuff like that. So we had a conversation yesterday about contracts, and then we got to revisit it. And I just love that we're in this point now where our contract, and when we go back and we say, hey, we got to look at pricing and stuff like that, like, we have a strong base behind that because we provide really high quality. You know what I'm saying? And I think about the time years ago where we gave so much, we got back so little, and we would have had 10% of the fight and confidence that we had yesterday. And confidence really comes from being good. You know what I mean? Like, you can talk all your affirmations and just be talking and say, hey, I got to be this and I got to be, but like, confidence actually comes from putting the work in.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it actually comes from putting the work in. Like, you play basketball and you go and you got to play in the semifinals or the finals of your state championship. You dribble on the court and you pull up from three with 2 minutes left and you shoot it confidently. That's because of all the years that you've been practicing your 3-point shot. All the times in the backyard that you was taking that last three before grandma called you in for dinner. All the times in junior high where you was taking that three, missing it, going back after the game, putting up 100 shots. Like, you got confident because you put the work in. So our confidence is not even manufactured now. Guys have put the work in. Guys have been around the block. Guys are sit there and reevaluate it and change the company. Guys are sitting there and put in a staff that's good, a model that's good, a model that could be repeated. So like it's like organic confidence. You know what I mean? So that was dope. What else about base and accounting this week that you think about?
Um, I met with some of our advisors, investments,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just it's amazing to see the growth of our business, and I'm reshifting like I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm reshifting the focus of our business um to a more like, yes, I want to help people, but financially I want it to be more sound.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is I want to work towards the future. So the I feel like over the last few years we've been more reactive. Like just as far as like for our business, we know what we do. We keep our books in order. We plan a little bit, but we haven't like built ourselves out a budget or anything like that. Like I feel like 2024 has pretty much been trying something new, rolling out advisory. Like I feel like we just been in it, but
Mm-hmm.
not like looking towards the future. And over the last couple of weeks, I've taken time to look into the future. So, for example, you probably don't even know this, but we are starting a retirement plan for our employees.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Congratulations, yo. Congratulations, yo. I hope you're happy that you work for Base and Accounting LLC. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I met with our investment advisors this
Mm-hmm.
week and had a
Mm-hmm.
really, really good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, starting 2025. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now we've been talking about a whole lot of stuff
Mhm.
today. I'm enjoy talking to you today. I always do. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You had me laughing more than I thought today. So that's dope. But what I really wanted to port about before we get
What?
out of here is what?
No, I was looking like it's time to go already.
No, 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 no.
But
But what?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. What I really want to make sure that we get and share today is think about what we talked about me being sick and health and enrolling in benefits and all of those kind of things and what we have experienced this week, whether it's Randy and her friend outside and all that. Like,
Here we go.
listen, I'm saying all of this because in life nothing is certain besides the fact that your life is not going to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? So like me and Randy, we're married, but we're not gonna be married forever because at some point I'm not gonna be here, Randy's not gonna be here. Base and accounting, an amazing business. That may not be here forever. You know what I mean? Like in the infinity of life, because at some point we may not be here or whoever takes it. Like things change in life and you have to be prepared for the future. And also, with me being sick is also a reminder that we may not want to work forever. We're in a peak of our lives right now where we got energy, we got experience, we got technical ability and all of these kind of things, certifications and stuff. But like at some point we might want to do the benevolent, go out of town, check a movie premiere. We might want that to be our life because we're older now. We want to enjoy the fruits of our labor, for lack of better terms. You know what I'm saying? You got to plan for that.
Mhm.
I ain't never even thought like that until I met you. So we want to make sure we share with y'all the importance of like financial planning. And Randy, who I can always rely on, has been reignited in regards to like thinking about our future and our kids' future. And if something were to happen to us and that kind of thing, like all of this hard work that we did, all of these things that we've been able to build, what does it mean in the longevity of things? You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like, what are we leaving to our kids? How are we leaving it to our kids? Do we got the right stuff put in place? And that's important for y'all to do. Financial planning for your life and life after you. You know what I'm saying? So Randy, Why don't you tell them about what you've been up to, what you've been looking into, how you came up and reignited that passion that you have to plan for our future, and
Yeah.
what's it been like?
Um, I think that it started honestly probably last tax season when I was doing taxes for the company. Remember the part-time job?
Mm-hmm.
And I came across, well, first of all, I've always been passionate about this type of stuff, but I kind of lost it a little bit. Well, I say it took a back seat when I left corporate America in 2021 because it was such an adjustment to go from two salaries to one. Um, so that's I just want to give that little background because I was always conscious of it. But no, seriously though, in 20 last year during tax season, I had a part-time job for a humongous company and I was exposed to tax returns all over the United States. And that opened my eyes, not just from like conceptually I've known things, but to see things on paper. So I'll be working on somebody's return and I'll see like an IRA distribution or something. And it'll have like the son's name, and then it'll be like it'll have the parent's name. So I have to ask questions like, oh, okay, well, who was this on return? He's like, oh, my mom left this to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you get 50,000 a year from her, retirement, whatever. So to see it on paper, I'm like, oh, okay. So there really is transfer of wealth out here. I've never experienced it. So it became a really like a real thing to me. And as we age, I'm starting to think, I think also since I turned 40, honestly, I'm starting to think more about like what I want the next 20 years to look like and what I want to leave behind for my children. And I want that to be a seamless transfer. So, with meeting with the advisors, one of the things that we benefit from is having a is having a business. And I try to be as smart as I can with the business and run as many business expenses that I can through the business legally. So, so there's kind of like two sides to it, but basically I feel like we're in a place where because the business is a lot more profitable now since we've changed our services, I can do a lot more with the profit. So one of the things that we're going to do is distribute more income to ourselves and put that in a Roth IRA. You don't know this, but we're going to put it in a
I
Roth.
know now.
We're going to put it in a Roth IRA. We can put $7,000 a year per person in the Roth IRA up until retirement. And the reason for that is you put it in the Roth IRA now, and then when you take it out at retirement, you don't pay taxes on those distributions from the Roth IRA.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the process of opening that up. But then the other thing when it comes to the retirement plan, and this is the strategic thing that I kind of thought about, and then when I met with the advisors, I discussed the best way to do it. But our daughter's getting ready to go to school, and she's going to be walking away or retiring from her nail technician um, career. So we're going to help her. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to put her on salary and give her, some things to do at work. But the other thing is when you add in us having a retirement plan, my daughter or our daughter is an employee of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So as a benefit of working for the company, she can start. We actually are starting her retirement plan for her. So, which is also deductible for the business, but it's also a benefit for her.
You so
So,
smart. Hey, y'all heard this? You so smart, girl. I'm
yeah,
sorry. You got.
yeah. So yeah, so like that's one of the next moves that we'll be making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm learning a lot today. You
Yeah.
know what
Because
I'm
I've been
saying?
thinking that like we really need to use the business because honestly, for what we do, I really want to enjoy life. I want to help people with like just on a financial level, especially with like taxes, accounting. Like I'm really falling in love again with what we do. But then I also want to like just do amazing things with the profit.
Mm-hmm.
And I want the family to benefit from that. So I mean, I don't even mind. And I know that this is not the popular thing to say. Like, I'm not trying to give anybody any advice, but if I could break even every year, if I've had a good time, if I've invested in the future, my children are taken care of, we got our trust set up, like, I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay with that.
That's what's up. But you know what though? If you saying like break even, you made so much impact. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
like you could look at it and be like, hey, I gotta have all this money that I've made, net income that I'm, but like look at the impact you're making. Like you're changing your life and your family's life as a result of all of these decisions
Mhm.
that you're making. And of course, if we don't have a whole bunch of income that we're reporting, then the taxes are not too
Yeah.
bad.
And then the other thing is a lot of the income, when I say break even, well, I'm an employee of my company. So that means that there's some raises that are involved.
So, AKA, please don't get it twisted. She's making money. Like, don't let her make it seem like she's just a humanitarian and she's out here doing it off the muscle and she ain't getting a check, but she wants that check to be increased.
Mhm.
But you know what's beautiful? I think you did get a raise recently that you gave to yourself. Yes.
Yes.
Our relationship's so good, I didn't even have to approve it. I heard that the raise happened after it was done.
No, you told me to
I
though.
know I told you to do it, but it's not like,
Yeah.
hey, can I, I'm gonna do this. Like, it's a lot of trust with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of
And
trust with
speaking of
us.
trust, you did say that you would like more insight into the finances, which
I
really
do.
made me happy.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cuz I feel like I've been a steward of financial everything on my own.
Hmm.
And to have you to take an interest in that, I'm like, really? Okay, cool.
Well, you know what? I've even said it on this podcast before, but I'll talk about like how I'm the one that go make the money and you're the one that go save the money. That's fine. That could be what we're naturally good at. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I want to say that forever because while saying that, there's still an element of division where
Mhm.
like I'm looking at something that I do separate from what you do, which is not really true. You make money too. You make money for us. You know what I mean? The decisions you make makes money for the company. It makes money for us individually. You know what I'm saying? So when I see money come in and money goes out, like I could spend the next 20 years making the same joke about all your phantom accounts and all that, or I could get in and understand it so that I could actually, support what we do collectively. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because one day, you might need me to understand the finances and where the money goes and how we're saving for this and this and that, where all the accounts are. Because, if anything were to happen, you might not be here or I might not be here. Like we have to
Yeah.
be on the same page with these kind of things. And I don't want you to have to carry that burden on your
Yeah.
end because you're my
Well, I'm
partner.
I'm pretty sure if something were to happen, well, something's going to happen. Like somebody's going to precede somebody in death, and I think that it would be a complete nightmare the way things are set up now for you to know where anything is without doing a significant amount of research.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, but you know what? And with that, y'all could probably, a lot of y'all who's listening to this, wherever you are, not even to close out with anything negative or heavy, but it's just real. Like, would you be comfortable where things at if you just like that, wasn't here anymore or wasn't working anymore? Something significantly changed in your life. Like, would your family know where the money's at? Would your family be able to get the benefits for all the hard work that you put in? Have you set up the right structures in place? You know what I mean? Roth IRAs, which I'm learning. I did it in college. I
mhm.
don't remember it. You know what I'm saying? But I'll remember it now when we actually do it and are doing it for our family. You know what I'm saying? I'll learn it and I'll know what it is. But like, how many of y'all are just one bad decision away from somebody having to do a GoFundMe for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really setting up yourself and your family to be able to go forward without you or without the current lifestyle? It ain't even just about that, but without the current lifestyle that you could provide. Because changes happen all the time. So, are you saving? Are you planning? Are you ready to retire? You know what I mean? I know you've been killing me for money that I take out of my retirement that I've done over the years, but it makes sense because that's the plan for the future. You shouldn't be living life in a way currently where you have to touch that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it that can't be because the future has to be planned for. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So plan for your future. It's important. You know what I mean? And listening to us, you can realize that we're finding a way to get a healthy mix of planning for the future but enjoying the present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you do work hard. It's your money. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to enjoy it. We're enjoying it. We're not going to be people that get old and sit there and be like, oh, I did all this work and only my kids are going to benefit. That's not going to be us. We're enjoying our life.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But there's a mix that you have to be able to find. There's skills that you have to be able to find. And you need help and you need community, like we always say. And you need to follow the Dex and Randi Show because we go through the ups and downs of life. We give you guys a lot of information on here. We be very real about it. You know what I mean? And we can help you find that healthy mix of enjoying your life now and and finding those moments to make things special, even if it won't kill you financially. But
Mhm.
not sitting here and, taking that whole set of money that you made and just blowing it all and not
Yeah.
having nothing.
And
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
that you have to start somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be honest about exactly where you are because a lot of the stuff, as much as I know, like I'm a money coach, financial coach, I got my certification. I'm a tax expert. Like I have all these credentials behind me and there's things that I know conceptually, but I'm also a human. And I know most people aren't doing the necessary steps to prepare for the future. So,
Mm-hmm.
because as we learn, we need to share what we learn and encourage our listeners to do the same thing. Like, even with the IRA, they said, we can put 7,000 a piece. That's 14,000 a person. I said, well, I don't have $7,000 a piece to put into an IRA today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
have, I'll be honest about that. To put into an IRA,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like I'm right now, I'm working on getting our emergency fund back together. So I'm not going to be doing that. But, you know, having that honest conversation and just, this is where I am, this is what I have. I can't do it this year, but I can do it next year. You know, I think that we need to stop with the embarrassment about that stuff, the shame that
Mm-hmm.
comes with not having based on, where I think I should be. And just be real. Like, hey, look, I done made some mistakes. I've enjoyed life.
Mm-hmm.
My mom passed away in 2021 and I've been having a good time living,
Yeah.
and be okay with that, you know?
That's what's up,
So
man.
anyway.
Nah, that's what's up. Hey, listen, y'all, we got to get out of here, but we are approaching the holiday season. You know what I mean? And we're also approaching a monumental episode for our podcast, which will be episode 50. We're going to be having something called a Friendsgiving, where we're going to be having some good food and celebrating our 50th episode, which is right around the corner. What's up,
Hold
man?
on. I just want to clarify something.
What?
When my mom passed away
Oh, no, you good.
when my
My fault.
mom passed away in 2021, it made me realize how precious life was. So I just want to say that because I'm like, my mom passed away in 2021
Oh,
and
you
I've had a good
tripping.
time living. So I just
Nah,
wanted to say it made me realize how precious life was.
of
So
course.
as a result, I've had a good time
Uh, of
appreciating
course.
life. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, you funny, yo. You funny. But I wouldn't even have thought like that. But no, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And but I think that shows the strength in you that you've been able to go through something like that and literally take the words that she told you and me about how you were bubbling. Like she years ago kept saying you was bubbling, you was gonna do something great. Look what you've become. Like to be honest with you, look what you've become, look what you've been able to do. You should be proud of that. I like for real, for real. You should be proud of that because you know your children. So imagine when you look at your child and you tell them like, I know you can be great, and then they become great. That's what she was telling you, and you're doing that. So she will want you to enjoy your life. She will want you to do these things that you're doing and be on this podcast sharing it. And we've taken all of those conversations and all of those feelings that we used to sit outside on the deck and just be like, yo, what if, what if? And now the ifs is becoming things. And that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, make sure that you follow the Dex and Randy podcast. But we're excited because it's holiday season coming. Episode 50 is coming for our podcast. It's a milestone episode. We're gonna tell y'all all about this Friendsgiving that we have. It's going to be a good time. You know what I'm saying? But until then, make sure you follow the Dex and Randy podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere that has podcasts. Leave a comment, hit us a like. If you enjoying the podcast, tell a friend about it. That's how we grow. Growing our community is what we want to do, is what we need to do. And we appreciate you guys being here. We love y'all. Till next time. Peace. Make sure you follow the Dex and Randy Show on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube. Let us know what you're going through. This is the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. We want to hear from you, engage with you. Till next time, peace.